So he called me and he said he had this new play that Robert Schennkan had written, who had written All the Way, which I saw and was brilliant. And he wanted me to give it a read. And I thought he was calling me as a producer, but he actually said, and I want to offer you this role of Gloria in this two-person play. And I thought, oh, okay, well, let me read it. So I did, and I devoured it in like an hour. Gloria is a historian. She's a professor. She teaches at a university. And she has written letters to this inmate, this man who's been convicted of a particular crime, because she's interested in interviewing him and hearing his side of the story of what happened. And she's compelled to try to understand how history happens. Is it something that just is like a river, a current that individuals get caught up in, or does the individual actually, is the individual the catalyst that creates history? So that's why she's in the room. So I'm hoping that this play will, continue to urge people to do that, and to understand that they can be empowered and that they can have an impact on the future of this country.
I'm a big fan of Robert Schennkan's writing. He was one of the writers on The Pacific, which is an HBO miniseries we did almost 10 years ago. And I did a play with Ari at the New Group about 10 years ago. And I was standing on a tundra up in Calgary in the cold, and my phone rang on a Friday evening, and it was Ari saying, "Hey, do you want to come do this project with us?" Okay, let people call it that. And if it puts people in the seats, that's fine. But the story we're telling is bigger than that. The story we're telling is timeless. The story we're telling is worldwide. And people who have grown up in different countries and different cultures will recognize the story that we are telling.
And this play takes place 1,000 days into the New World. And so the really interesting thing about putting it together is asking this question, what's the future going to be like? What are the challenges, the debates that we're going to be having when we try to write the history of this unbelievable American moment that we're currently participating in? A really great playwright can take something as big as this moment and turn it into a guy in an interview room. And we are, we're very much playing with the same palette that Sophocles played with in a two-hander. It's a big state versus the individual universe of debate here, but actually a story about a guy in a room. Here it's a guy in a room, and Philoctetes, it's a guy on an island, but it's very much the same world. It's so funny that 1984 is going up this summer as well, right? Imagine being around when that book was written and reading it for the first time and thinking this is science fiction to them at the time. But what were the concerns and the fears that somebody reading 1984 had at that time? Now we look at 1984 and we think of it with a little bit of, oh, that was kind of interesting that we thought those people thought all of those things. Some of these things have played out, some of them might play out. There's universal truths. It's an amazing, amazing story. This play actually takes that to another level.